The lighthouse keeper's final log. Last night, I was stationed alone at Crow's Point Lighthouse, perched on jagged rocks 50 miles from the nearest town. They told me winter storms were brutal out here, but nobody mentioned the other thing. Nobody warned me about what happens when the fog rolls in thick enough to swallow the beam hole. I'd taken the job 3 weeks ago. Decent pay, solitude, and all I had to do was maintain the light and log weather conditions. Simple enough, right? The previous keeper left without a word, just vanished mid-shift. They found his coffee, still warm in the cup. The first 2 weeks were uneventful. Cold, sure. Lonely, absolutely. But manageable. Then the storm started. It began on a Tuesday. Wind screaming like wounded animals. Waves crashing so hard the entire structure shook. I was checking the lamp mechanism when I heard it. 3 slow knocks on the iron door. Deliberate. Measured. Impossible because that door was 100 feet above sea level, and the only access was a ladder I'd pulled up hours ago. I froze, wrench in hand, telling myself it was structural stress. Old buildings make sounds. But then it came again. Knock, knock, knock. Always 3. Always the same rhythm. Who's there? My voice barely carried over the wind. Silence. Then, just at the edge of hearing, a voice whispered through the door crack. Let me in. It's so cold out here. I grabbed my flashlight and yanked the door open. Nothing. Just howling wind and darkness, so complete my beam seemed to die 3 feet out. But on the platform, I saw them, wet footprints leading to the door. Small footprints, like a child's, glistening in the light. I slammed the door and radioed the mainland. Static. The storm must have killed the signal. I was alone. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the lamp room, watching the beam cut through the storm, and that's when I saw the ship. A massive, wailing vessel, wooden and ancient, crawling through waves that should have shattered it. No lights, no movement, just drifting closer. I checked the charts. No vessels reported in this area. I aimed a spotlight at it, and my blood went ice cold. The deck was covered in figures. Dozens of them, standing perfectly still despite the pitching waves, all facing the lighthouse. Facing me. The knocking started again. But this time, it wasn't just the door. It came from the walls, the floor, the ceiling. Everywhere at once. Knock, knock, knock. And voices, so many voices, all whispering the same thing. Let us in. I ran down the spiral stairs, planning to lock myself in the supply room, but I stopped dead on the landing. Water was seeping under the door, seawater, dark and thick. But we were 100 feet up. That was impossible. The water spread across the floor, and in it I saw them. Faces pressing up through the surface like it was a membrane. Pale faces with hollow eyes and mouths, opening and closing silently. Reaching for me. I bolted back up to the lamp room and barricaded myself inside. The storm raged harder. The entire lighthouse swayed. And then, through the observation window, I saw her. A little girl in a white dress, standing on the catwalk outside. Soaking wet. Her skin blue-gray. Her eyes completely black. She pressed her small hand against the glass, and frost spread from her fingertips. Please, she whispered, her voice somehow clear despite the storm. We've been waiting so long. We just want to be warm again. Go away, I screamed. You're not real. She tilted her head, and her mouth stretched into something that wasn't quite a smile. We're more real than you know. We've been here longer than the lighthouse. Longer than the rocks. And we'll be here long after you. The glass began to crack under her touch. I grabbed the emergency flare gun and fired it directly at her. The flare passed through her like she was smoke, and she didn't even flinch. Just kept smiling that horrible smile. Then all the lights went out. The lighthouse beam, my flashlight, everything. Total darkness, except for the glow of her eyes through the window. And I heard footsteps on the stairs. Slow, wet footsteps. Dozens of them, coming up toward me. I found a backup generator and got the beam working again. The moment light flooded the lamp room, they vanished. The girl, the footsteps, all of it. But I knew they were still there, waiting in the dark places. Patient. I've been keeping every light on for the past 6 hours. The storm is getting worse, and I'm almost out of fuel. When the lights go out again, I know they'll come back. And this time, I don't think the light will save me. I'm recording this log because if anyone finds it, you need to know don't take this job. Don't come to Crow's Point. Some places are lighthouses for a reason, not to guide ships safely home, but to warn them away from what lurks in the deep. The fuel gauge just hit red. I can hear them in the walls again, whispering, promising. The little girl is back at the window, and she's not alone anymore. The light is flickering. God help me, I think I understand now why the last keeper left his coffee warm. The light is